Watch till the end to benefit from 10 tips to optimize your Skool experience, and all of this from an experienced community manager. Free access to community builders, which is my network of community builders, leaders, and managers. And at the time of this recording, there are around 17 to 18 spots left. So if you want to opt in for free now would be a great time to do so, as well as free bonus learning materials from my paid course, the Community Management Kit. And I just want to say that there are no strings attached to this. A lot of people have these call to actions for products or services as content creators, and they pretty much steal your email to use it for email marketing purposes. And I have zero intentions whatsoever to do so. I'm not going to hit you up with any email marketing BS. And I just simply want to reward focused students and action takers, so people who watch the lessons and people who want to act now, and especially early subscribers and viewers of my channel. How to use Skool. Tip number 1, how to best engage with posts. And there are a number of ways to do this. And so the first thing to ask would be, why even bother trying to learn how to best engage with a post? It should be pretty intuitive, but there are some little nuances, some details to address in this regard, because you want to become a better member. And if you can become a better member, if you can learn how to become a better community member, you can certainly be a better leader when the time comes to eventually building your own online community. You'll understand the psychology of the community member. You'll understand what it takes to best engage with a community. So in order to best engage with an online community, there are a few details here to address, notably liking posts a lot. Of course, you can like what you like, don't like posts that you dislike, but be generous with liking posts and comments, right? It's free to do, and it also engages in something known as the principle of reciprocity. So in other words, if I like your posts, the chances that you are going to like my post increase. And this is especially relevant in a community atmosphere where there are leaderboard structures / incentives. And what I mean by that is on Skool.com, which is the community hosting platform that I work on, the more likes that any given member gets, the more that member ranks in the leaderboards section. And I can actually show that to you right now. So here we are on Skool.com, and we're actually in the official Skool community. And as you can see, with regards to the leaderboards, the more likes that a given member gets, the more that they'll rank higher in the community's leaderboards. And of course, those leaderboards are divided by weekly, monthly, and all time. And you could see the point systems on the side here in blue next to the people's names. And also with regards to liking other members' posts, it's just a nice thing to do, because at the end of the day, we've all been there where we've made a post or a comment and it just falls on deaf ears. Nobody replies, nobody comments, nobody engages with it, and nobody likes it. And so the least that you can do to make somebody feel like they're actually an integral part of your community, that they aren't being rejected or ignored, is to just simply give them a like. It takes less than 1 second to do so, and it really goes a long way in your community. Another way to best engage with posts on Skool is to simply ask questions. And this is going to stimulate discussions. And one little piece of advice that I tend to give out is, if you don't know what kinds of questions to ask under any given post, just assume for 1 second that you're the most curious person in the entire world. And that sort of mental experiment alone is enough to remove any sorts of filters that you have in your mind, and it's going to allow you to come up with very curious questions, and it's going to allow you in turn to ask those questions and stimulate discussion. And of course, discussion is really important because that's going to create an even more engaging community atmosphere. Regarding posts, just encourage members. If you don't have any questions to ask, maybe you did the whole experiment of trying to imagine yourself as the most curious person in the world, and even then you couldn't come up with any questions of your own. You can always just encourage members. Tell them that they gave a good recommendation. Tell them that they made a great post, a great guide, like their post, etc. These little things that don't take very much of your time really go a long way in terms of creating a great community atmosphere. And this is one of the best ways that you can engage as a community member, and indeed as a community builder and leader as well. And of course, in terms of more high leverage commenting, more high leverage engaging with posts, you can add context. If somebody makes a post, let's say regarding bodybuilding in a bodybuilding community, and he failed to mention something in some kind of guide that he made as a post, you can simply add that in the discussion below. And for example, you could say that, hey, look, this was an amazing post, but you may have forgotten point XYZ or something to that effect. And what's awesome about Skool.com is not only can you leave written text comments, but you can indeed also provide video. So if you're not somebody who likes to actually sit down and write and edit out their thoughts, and you just want to quickly provide a member with some context, you can actually just pull up your computer, film a brief 5-minute video, and actually provide that as a comment below that member's post. So here we are in Skool.com again, in the Skool official Skool community, that is. And you'll see that what I can do is if I make a post, I can actually provide a video. So if I recorded a video and then let's say I uploaded it privately on YouTube, all I would need to do is get the link for that particular video and then paste it in here and then upload it here, and I can actually answer somebody's questions, not just in text, but also indeed in a video format. And of course, you can also refer members with the @ symbol. And the particular benefit of engaging with posts in this manner is that you can actually summon members to the post in question. So you can actually outsource or delegate adding context or asking questions to other members. Let's say that there is a post about something that you're not necessarily an expert in or you don't know very much about, but you know that there are a number of other members in the community that are indeed experts in terms of answering whatever that post entails. What you can do is you can actually just @ them and they would be called out in a sense to head to that post, and then they can add their context from there. And this is also a really important step to consider if you want to reach out to the community owner, builder, or leader himself, and you don't necessarily want to bother him by sliding into his direct messages. You can actually just @ him below a post and he can join and add his context to that post from there. So in that sense, if I'm here again in Skool.com, I could simply go here, get the @ symbol, and of course you can @ the person who made the post. But if I just clicked any sort of random letter, you can @ any of these members here if you knew them and you knew that they had something worth saying below any given post. How to report unsavory posts. And why do we want to report unsavory posts? That's pretty intuitive, because you want to nip negative posts at the bud. You don't want them to wreak havoc on the community, so you don't want them to be up for very long. And of course, you want to prevent a culture of lawlessness. If no negative or unsavory or bad posts are being reported at all, then you're going to create a culture where it's okay to let these kinds of posts stay around, which is not good, because that's going to encourage more of these kinds of posts to be made. So in terms of reporting a post, all you have to do is go up to the 3 dots at the right-hand corner and then click the button Report to Admins. And what this is going to do, it's going to go into a queue, and the community managers and or the community builder of the community that you're in is going to simply validate whether or not it's worth deleting and go from there. So in terms of you being concerned as a member, all you have to do is just simply report it in the way that I showed you. Another cool tip is learning how to save posts on Skool that you like. And why would you want to do this? Well, because you don't want a really cool post that you enjoy to get lost down the forum feed, especially if you're in a busy community that has thousands upon thousands of members, and whatever post that you like is just going to be lost to the forum feed in a matter of minutes or hours. And unfortunately, there isn't a dedicated bookmarking feature yet from Skool, but I'm sure that's going to be something that comes in the future. But in terms of showing you how to bookmark a post that you want to save for future use, or maybe it has something insightful that you like, I'll show you how to do that in just a second. So in terms of saving a post that you really enjoy, it's as simple as just simply clicking the star to favorite it, and then it's going to go into your bookmarks and favorites folder, and you can look at them for future use. And of course, this isn't a Google tutorial, but you can actually sort your favorites and your bookmarks into folders and whatnot. So that's something you can do as well to optimize the organization of the posts that you favorite on Skool. And now we'll be talking about whether you should watch posts or not. In Skool.com, watching a post means that if you were to click this button here, for every new comment that's made underneath this post, you would get a notification. And this is really important because If you watch, you actually stay in the loop regarding key discussions of your choosing, and even ones that you haven't commented in yet. So that's what the watch button is actually for. If you haven't made a comment, because when you make a comment under a post in Skool, you automatically are watching that post. And so when somebody adds a comment to that post, you automatically get notified of that new person's comment to that post. And this is really important because if ever there's a juicy conversation that you want to see how it unfolds, but you haven't commented on it because maybe you don't have the time, or maybe simply because you don't want to, then you can just simply click the watch button in the top right-hand corner of that post, as I showed you just a few moments ago, and that will allow you to get any new notifications from that post in question. And of course, if that post is no longer of any interest to you, you can simply click the button to stop watching that post, and you'll no longer get any new notifications whatsoever for this post in question. And next, we'll be looking at filtering forum posts. And the reason for this is really simple. It's just simply for ease of interactivity, making your engagement with the community easier. And if we return to Skool.com's official Skool community, you can see that there are a number of different sub-forums, or as Skool describes them, categories that make up the bulk of the main forum feed. And as you can see right now, it's selected under all. And so you could just simply cycle through the different categories that you want to study. So here's how I use Skool. This is the announcements, the product feedback, etc., right? But you can get even more specific with the filtering of the forum feed. As you can see, if you click this little icon here, maybe you just want to see the pin posts. Maybe you just want to see the posts that you are watching. Maybe you want to see the posts that are unread. Maybe you want to see the posts that don't have any comments on them yet, because maybe you want to be the first to comment. Maybe you want to see only new posts, or maybe you only want to see the best posts of the week. You have all of these options at your disposal to make your interaction with the community space that much more easier to do. Just want to comment on one of these filtering features, which is the no comments feature. And what I like about this one is that, again, to go back to this point I made earlier in the video, is that if you were a member, you wouldn't want your post to be rejected. You wouldn't want to seem as if no one has engaged with your post whatsoever, no one's liked it, no one's commented, or you just think that everyone's ignoring it, or worse, that perhaps the community that you're in is a ghost town and no one's really engaging in it whatsoever. You don't want to make that impression in any way, shape, or form. And what you can do as a good member, and especially as a good community builder or owner or leader, is to simply cycle through the no comments posts, and you can be the one to add comments of context, encouragement, etc. to posts that haven't received or seemingly haven't received any attention whatsoever. And that's going to make the person who made the post feel a lot better about being a part of the community space that he's in. And of course, this is especially relevant if it's in your community space and you're the community builder, manager, owner, whatever it may be. It's very important that you cycle through posts that haven't received any attention and give them some kind of attention, even if it's just a word of encouragement, a like, a little bit of context here, whatever you can supply. And next, we'll be looking at editing your bio and why this is important. Well, it's important for actually networking purposes. And what I mean by this is, with your bio or your profile, whatever term you prefer to use, you can actually specify your interests, where you reside, etc. And what this is going to do is, for members that cycle through the members tab on Skool.com, they can actually begin to see that there are people maybe that they're interested in networking with just based on their bio or profile alone. And from there, they can actually direct message you. And I'll show you what I mean by that in just a second. So once again, we're back on Skool. And if you go to the members tab at the top of the community, you can see the thousands of members. So as you can see through this community member's bio, this guy's building systems that change lives on the daily. He's a tech entrepreneur, etc. And if this is of any interest to another member, perhaps he's really interested in networking with a fellow tech entrepreneur in a tech-related community space, he can simply choose to chat with him. Now, it seems that the Skool community itself has disabled chats. So the admin team has disabled direct messaging other members, probably because they don't want any sorts of salespeople to cold outreach to their members and bother them. But in other community spaces, this would be available to actually DM that member in question that you're interested in. And of course, this is something that you can indeed take advantage of yourself, right? If you are a community member of a community, you want people to actually reach out to you. You don't want to have to be doing all the cold outreach. Make your bio and your profile description really enticing. Make it very attractive to the kinds of people that you actually want to associate yourself with. And you might be surprised that some people in communities that you're in will reach out to you for networking purposes. And this point builds on the previous point of optimizing your bio or profile for networking purposes, which is to follow members. So why is this important? Well, because you could just simply keep up to date with members that you enjoy and be notified of their latest posts. So I'll just show you how you can follow any given member, and it's really easy to do. So again, you're in the members directory in a Skool, and we're just going to be using the Skool community as an example. And here, let's just click the first profile that we see. And you can scroll down here and click the follow button. And of course, what this is going to allow you to do is to simply be notified of this community member's new posts, if perhaps there's something that you enjoy. If, let's say, this member really brings quality posts to the table and you want to be the first to know when he drops a new post or something to that effect. And of course, another detail worth noting here is that when you join a community on Skool, you actually automatically follow the community owner's profile upon joining their community. So I just wanted to detail that here. You can actually choose to unfollow a community owner after you join his community, but I just wanted to add that detail in there to let you know that when you join a community on Skool, you actually automatically follow the community owner. All right, so an alternative way to follow members is to simply hover over their profile icon in the forum section, and this pop-up appears where you can choose to follow them by clicking the follow button. And alternatively, you can still follow members through the forum feed. If you're in a comment section, you can hover again over a member's profile picture, and again, this pop-up appears where you can choose to follow them. Next, we'll be looking at notification settings. So why would you want to change these? Why would you want to customize these? Well, simple. To avoid being bombarded with an endless stream of notifications. Sometimes you have a preference to receiving notifications from one community than another. So there are many ways to customize the notifications that you receive on Skool.com. One of the ways that you can customize notifications on Skool is to simply go here. So where you see the notification bell, you click it, and you can actually click here and just say just this group. So what this is going to allow me to do is to cycle through the notifications that I've received just on this group here, and then you could of course toggle it back to all groups. And this is really helpful if you get tons of notifications and you really want to streamline the notifications to a particular Skool community. You can do that in the community that you're in. So if I'm in the Skool community here and I click again just this group, I'll only get the official Skool community's notifications here. Otherwise, in terms of getting way more specific, what you're going to want to do is head to the settings button beneath the community banner, head to the notifications, and here you can actually just customize things. So you can choose whether or not you want an email from this community that pretty much updates you with whatever's been going on in this community space. Here I've clicked never, but it can be daily, weekly, which is the default setting, every 14 days, every 2 weeks, monthly, or never as I've chosen. You can choose to be notified by with the likes or not, with admin announcements or not, with event reminders or not, etc. So this is something that's very customizable for you. And I just want to let you know that when you actually customize these settings in Skool.com in this sense here, that is by clicking the settings button underneath the community banner, just know that you're only customizing the notification settings for the particular community that you're in. So if you find yourself in a busy period of your life, for example, and you don't want to receive any notifications whatsoever from Skool.com, what you're going to have to do is actually adjust the notifications as I've shown you just here, but in every single one of the communities that you're a part of on Skool. So I just wanted to detail that. Here's an alternative way to customize your notification settings. So head over to the user menu or your profile here, then click the settings button. And then what you're going to want to do is head over to the dedicated notifications section. And at the top, you're going to have two options. So when somebody follows you, you can either choose to be notified by email or to not be notified at all. And if you earn money through referrals on Skool, you can choose to be notified by email or not as well. And as far as group notifications are concerned, you can customize all of the group's dedicated notification settings from a single directory or page in this case. So let's say if you wanted to change the notification settings for the Skool community, you just click the change button over here, and you have the same pop-up menu appear that you otherwise would have if you were in the Skool community itself. So what's good about customizing your notifications in this way is that you don't have to hop into each group one at a time in order to make changes to the notification settings. You can just simply have all of the communities that you're in here all in one place and change their notifications to best fit your circumstances. Next, we'll be looking at the search bar, which is frankly one of the most underused tools on Skool.com. And why do we want to use the search bar of all things? Well, because it lets us find what we're looking for fast. We don't have to scroll down the feed, skim through it, browse through it, and identify things. We can actually get more specific and just simply use the search bar to look up things immediately. And of course, this reduces redundant posts. So if, let's say, you want to make a post, but you just check just in case it's been made already. Let's say, for example, you have a question to ask, but you just check in the search bar if that question has been asked already in the community, you no longer have to make a post. And what that's going to do is it's going to stop that community that you were going to make a post in from receiving a redundant post. And so if you think about this on a larger sort of picture, and there are, let's say, hundreds of other members that were wanting to ask a similar question, if they simply use the search bar and they found out the answer to the question that they had in mind, they wouldn't be making these redundant posts, and the community would have novel, refreshing, unique posts, right? So it's very important in terms of reducing redundant posts. And I'll show you how, and I'll teach you a brief lesson in using truncated words. So here we are in Skool, and here's the search bar at the very top of the website. And one thing I should detail is that the search bar is just for the community that you're in. So right now I'm in the Skool community, so this is only going to be searching through Skool's official Skool community. Now let's say I wanted to learn how to create an engaging community atmosphere. I could just write how to create an engaging community atmosphere, but the way that the Skool search bar works is unlike Google's search bar, which is receptive to approximations of search queries, and it'll give you things that aren't necessarily worded exactly the way that you want it to, but are very much related. Skool's search bar does not work like that at the time of this writing. It really helps to write truncated keywords. And what I mean by that is to simply write, so we wanted to look up how to create an engaging community, simply write the word engage. And what this is going to allow you to do, if you click it, is it's going to find all of the similar sort of keywords of engage. So here we have engagement, engage, engagement, engaging, engaged. And what you're going to find posts similar to what you intended to look up for, which for this example was how to create an engaging community space. And this is going to help you find what you were looking for. So as you can see here, what are you doing to up engagement in your group, etc. There's a whole discussion and what have you. And it's very important that, again, you use truncated keywords. So at best, single, maybe 2 words, and make them very precise. Otherwise, the search is not really that great on Skool for that. And I'll just show you what happens if you wrote something really specific using the Skool search bar. How to increase engagement. So we have a very specific question that we're asking, similar to what we wanted to. And as you can see, there's only one option here, and that's actually quite similar. But as you can see, very limited options in terms of what you had here before, which was, a lot of posts, right? 1,000 posts versus 1. So if you want a sort of wider spectrum of answers, look up a truncated word instead of a specific search query. And lastly, we're just going to simply be looking at night mode on Skool.com, which is what I've already had enabled as a theme throughout this tutorial video. And why would you want to have night mode enabled on Skool.com? Well, simply just for nighttime purposes, obviously, but also for aesthetic purposes. Maybe you prefer a darker version of the website than the lighter version, but I'll just show you how to toggle that in just a moment. So here we are once again in Skool.com, and in order to toggle the theme of whether you want the light or dark mode, just simply go to your profile, click the settings, click theme, and you're going to just simply toggle between light, save. So here we are in light mode, which looks like this. But if you go to settings once again and go again to theme, you could switch it back to dark mode, as easy as that. So thanks for making it to the end of today's video. Again, call to actions here. Sign up for Community Builders. It's 100% free. If the form is still there when you're watching this video, it means that you can still sign up. So by all means, look for the link in the description below for that. And of course, you can actually get a free module from my paid course, which is the Community Management Kit. So if you want a free module, again, no strings attached, you just want a free module. I want to reward focused students, action takers, and early viewers of my channel. So you can get a free module if you just look in the description below for that link. So make sure to act now. Spots are limited because I want action takers to be a part of my community and to reap the benefits of my learning materials, even if it comes from my paid courses. I'm literally giving it to you for free because, I really enjoy action takers. I really enjoy focused students, and I just want to reward the early viewers and subscribers of my channel. So again, thanks for watching this video. You can get all of these things. Have a great day. Thanks for attending today's lesson.